Hello, today is Monday, April 12th, 2021, and as you can see, I have done a little bit of upgrading to the stream. Let me get the Gamedev stuff turned on, and also let me get my camera turned on and configured. Okay, good, it's actually working today. That's good. So, I am going to try to leave some background music on. Tell me if it's too loud, or if it's too soft, or whatnot, or if it's annoying, I can just turn it off. I cannot program while listening to that kind of music, or while listening to really any kind of music. Well, actually, the kind of music that I can listen to while I program is unfortunately copyrighted, so I can't really do that. Gotta play something else. I figured I'd add a little bit just to see what it's about. Okay, it's good. Yeah. I'm glad the volume and everything is good. If it's a track that you want me to skip, I can do that. I'm using just the Twitch, soundtrack thing they offer. I figured I might as well add it. But yeah, I did some upgrades on the stream yesterday, and earlier today, so I was having trouble sleeping last night, so that's why I didn't stream earlier. I managed to catch Grumpy Gamedev stream early today. I was at like 4:30 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. But anyway, oh god, the green screen is off. Oh god, I have to fix that, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay, so which side is that on? That is on this side. Cool. There we go. Okay, so we are going to play Gravel Box. That'll be the first thing that we do on the stream, because I know Percentage Guy has been wanting me to do that for an eternity, and I have not had the time. So yeah, we will do that first. So let's see here. Sandbox, game, yeah, Windows Defender. I made the joke that Windows Defender is a pretty sad program because the only thing it's never stopped is a virus. Anyway, so for those of you who have not seen it, this is Gravelbox made by Percentage Guy. I think it's kind of fun. I see you've added things over here so that you can't spawn stuff outside of the map bounds. That's good to know. Looks like it's in exclusive mode, so you can't actually resize the window. So, I mean, the reason I say that is because if it were not in exclusive mode, then you could resize the window, and you probably could, depending on how you did it. But anyway, is the radio still a thing? I thought that it was down here, but I can't find it. Okay. You should read the changelog. Yeah, I probably should. I should also move my camera over here, so I'm not blocking anything. It is. It's still there. It says it was still near the clear everything button, right? Am I wrong? Or was it near light? No, it was near clear everything. I remember that. Oh well. Wherever it is, I'll find it later. Oh, it's just a command. Okay. I assume you can... Oh no, not like that. Okay. F4. That's an interesting command. Huh. Okay. Oh wow, that's really well done. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. Can you resize this command window? It looks like you can. Oh, okay. Your cursor doesn't change, but you can. Hey Sid, how's it going? So today we're going to be checking out a game made by Percentage Guy. I assume these just change what shows up in here. I think that's what that does. Like, this is probably for errors, that's probably for warnings, etc. Sure, let's submit help. Okay, oh, this is interesting. So whenever I scroll in this window, it resizes the window. Okay. Okay, so let's actually do some stuff with Gravelbox. Nothing much, was just too stressed with college work. Yeah, I know what you mean. College work can be, like, pretty bad. If it's any, sort of, I don't know, consolation, I couldn't really sleep last night, so I ended up sleeping in pretty heavily today. It was pretty bad. I had, like, back of my head was really hurting. I don't know why. But yeah. I still think, okay, so you can just spawn stuff, that's good. So make sure to read the changelog because it goes over stuff. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting sprite. I assume, oh, okay. Is there an interact key? I don't actually know. Oh, that deletes stuff? Oh, that's cool. Was that always a thing? I'll rework the sprite. Yeah, but was the, Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you changed it to, like, I think smooth lighting, right? It was always a thing, okay. I just don't know, I just didn't know, okay. So you changed it to more smooth lighting, I see. However, the lights still collide with stuff. That's interesting. It's interesting how they clip into each other like that. Try the explosive? Okay, I will. Oh, you can clip stuff out of the map, it seems. Little cube is just sitting there. And I imagine it's on a seam between two other colliders. That's probably why it's stuck there. In India, your college can be NBA accredited, and if it is, congratulations, your workload is increased 15 times. Oh god. I mean, we had stuff like that in, we didn't have that in college. We had, in high school we had stuff like that, where, you know, you could get, like, college work in high school if you were just crazy, and it was pretty bad. Seems like the ragdoll physics have changed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the NBA credit stuff is cool, though. But yeah, I can imagine it's probably a lot. So Sid, you were going for computer engineering, is that right? So let's check out the explosive now. Let's give Kevin a really bad day. Okay. Does the fuse get like smaller over time? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, computer engineering is kind of cool. Yeah, does the fuse get smaller over time, or do I have to do something to, I should probably read the changelog. Oh, I should probably also look at this. So there's scales. We can... Oh, we can make stuff really big. So glad you remembered. Yeah, I tried to remember. It doesn't. Okay. So interact. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting good at remembering. That's good. Yeah, upscaling the explosive doesn't increase the range. Ah, okay. But yeah, this is a game made by Percentage Guys. So this is all done in Unity. It's kind of neat. Kind of like it. So let's mess with the rotor. This is where things get amazing. Are the rotors still... Oh, do they start inactive? No, they don't. Okay. They got changes. They're not sentient anymore. Aw. The rotors are they're also somehow broke. Well, what specifically broke about them? Well, the physics did, okay. That's very interesting how they, It looks like it's rotating... Oh, whoa, that's quite a thing. That's interesting. The rotors start inactive. Oh, they do, okay. That's interesting. Oh, so you have to interact with them to turn them on? Oh, you do, okay. So we have to turn on a lot of them to actually make, like, the sentient thing that they can become. Read the changelog, yeah, maybe. Like, how they just, like... They're actually more amusing now. Also, notice the line added spinning them. Yeah, I noticed that. I think that's a good change, because now people can see that it's actually spinning. Because that was the issue that I had before, is I wasn't entirely certain what was actually spinning. I will say the collision on this is a little tiny. Hey, there's a game called Carlson, and it has a 2D version and a 3D version yet to release. You can check it out on the two. It's somewhat identical. Called Carlson? Okay, let me look at it. Carlson. Okay, no, that's a person. Carlson game. Oh, is this a Danny game? Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw the graphics and I'm like, is this a Danny game? Because, yeah, you can tell. That's a very Danny looking thing. That's cool. Okay. Looking forever. Alright. Turn on some sensitivity. I really wish the rotors would start active. Is there any way to make them start? Actually, wait a minute. If I open F4. Oh, F4. Whoa. Okay. It stopped responding when I used F4. Huh. Let me see if I can, next update will have a command for turning them all on at the same time. It died. Let me see if I can reproduce that. Hey, do you know my friend Pedro? I have not heard of that. Is that a game or is that a person or... Oh, it's a game, okay. I'll have to look into it then. So what were the... Oh yeah, there were some... Okay, so we can open this. So I'm curious. Okay. So this is cool. We can open and close that. Alright, so if we spawn a rotor, I wonder if it has anything to do with the rotors. Out of curiosity. Nope, completely unrelated. Okay. Well, let's run help. Can increase or decrease the quality levels. You can restart. Is there a... So there's load level. What's the actual command? You can add that to the report channel. Yeah. So I know you wanted me to do load level, and then there was something... I don't know how you actually spell the thing you wanted me to run, though. Oh, also, there's a ghost. No, there is no ghost. Alright. So wait, what? I don't actually know, Show me the command. The concept is based on gun fu, but it's executed beautifully. Okay. I want you to do that. And then let's not desaturate so much. That's fine. The concept, load level, acid droids. Alright. Oh, whoa. Acid droids. Before I run that, let me look up, so it's my friend Pedro, you said? My friend Pedro game. Check this out. Because I've heard that... I've seen this artwork before. But I'm not sure... That's interesting. I will look at that. But yeah, that's... I've seen the artwork before. Trying to think. Okay. So yeah, I've seen the artwork before, but I have not actually played it. But I'll have to look at it then, if you recommend it. So let's look at acid droids. There is no command for load level. Oh, is it not? Okay. So you don't need the dash. That's what I did. Ah, okay. Oh boy. I can't mess with the actual camera zooming now. How do I restart? Okay, it didn't like that. How do I unload level? Load level default, okay. Okay. So let's see what that actually... Okay, does this console have the... Yeah, it does. Okay, I love that. Alright, so you actually have to put the camera... Is it good to put the camera in the center of the screen when you do that then? Yeah. Alright, let's try that. Oh, okay, so it just zooms you in automatically. I see. Okay, because I thought there was like a thing over here that I was missing, but no. Okay. That's cool. Whoa. Oh, this has like it... Wait, what? Okay. Interesting. So you added the chromatic aberration, the lens filter, and then, yeah, color lerping. Nice. Alright, let's do load level default. Wasn't there another one that needed to be run? Isn't there another level? I forgot what it is. It's a console from the acid store. So don't... It's a console from the acid store? So don't give me... Okay. From the acid store? Is that a Freudian slip? Okay. So... It's not color lerping, it's just it's an animation. Okay. So it just flashes different colors. I was too lazy to learn lerping. It's actually really easy. Like, literally all you do, I mean, like, cheap lerping is super easy. It's like, I mean, it's not exactly, well, yeah. It's, cheap lerping is easy. Hey, what's your name? Are you talking to me? My name is Kyle. So fog color. So wasn't there another level you wanted me to load, percentage guy, so that I could see something? I don't remember. I know there were multiple. One of them was acid droids, and then there was another one. Looking back through chat history to see if I can find it. I thought there were multiple. Okay. I would assume not then. Physics bounce threshold? But you can do SM select object radio. Hey Omar, how's it going? Oh, Omar, you didn't see... Do you want to know my full name? I don't know... So Sid, I don't know that I can ask that on Twitch. I don't know... I don't know what Twitch's guidelines on that are, but I don't think I can ask that. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Oh, the autocomplete. Oh, that's so cool. Not autocomplete, but like the hint. Yeah. I just don't want to... Jeez. Yeah, apologies. I'm not entirely sure what Twitch's like TOS stuff is, and I know they're pretty crazy about it. I was waiting for the stream yesterday. So Omar, I usually don't stream on Saturday or Sundays. Yeah, I got rid of the ghost. I called the Ghostbusters. Yeah, I called the Ghostbusters. They preempted you, I think. Okay, so let's select radio. Oh wait, what? Hang on. Tried to close this. Hang on, does this? Hold on. Ah, I find a bug. Okay, so why is that? I actually don't know why this doesn't block raycasts. That's interesting, okay. But anyway, it seems like when this console is open, however it's built, I'm still not sure why this doesn't block raycasts, but whatever. However it's built, it seems like it will click through to the other, so you can see how it highlighted like that. You can press F4 again to close it. Ah, yeah, okay. Okay. So while my thing is there, okay. So if it's focused and you press F4, it doesn't close, but if it's unfocused, then you do. Okay. So we have the radio. Probably need a light for the radio. You don't want a radio to be in darkness. Oh, that's cool. So it says 31.2. So we can interact. Okay, it doesn't look like we can do anything when we interact with it, but it's still a cool sprite. Oh yeah, and right, we can spin things with the light, because, yeah, we can really make things spin with the light. Oh, can we still do the thing where we can, like... Can we still do the thing where we can, like, bolt people to the lights, or whatever? 31.2, there may be a significant number in the future. Yeah, probably. And no, I don't, percentage guy, I don't know why you say that. I don't think there could be any possible significance to that. I finished it 6 times already. Yeah, my friend Pedro. Yeah, I'll have to look into that if it's that good of a game. Yeah, we can still bolt people down with the... Oh! They can escape now! Okay, we'll just get rid of the lights. Alright, they can escape now. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me just... Maybe I didn't bolt him down well enough. Okay. Nope. Oh, you got balanced for a second there. Cool. There we go. Now we can get people bolted down. Great. Then the other thing. So if we put a ragdoll here, did the physics change at all with these? So they do seem to get locked together, but if you apply enough... Oh no! I think they're actually to the point... Yeah, the lights are capital, yeah, capsule, aka beam, yeah. So yeah, I think the... Oh no, okay, yeah. With enough angular velocity, you can just get them free. But yeah, I think you can create a chain now. Or at least a better chain. Okay, so that guy was not part of the chain. Anyway. Yeah, but I mean, you can get them free by doing that. Yeah, okay. So you can create a massive body still. But I will redo the light. Okay. Aha. Yeah, there needs to be a command that lets you... Oh, interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like it's harder to pick up more things. Huh. I just left ragdolls. Not only because of the current, but also because it's a spotlight, not a point light. Yeah. Yeah, I think the unfortunate part... Actually, what are the other... Are there any other hidden objects aside from the radio? I thought there were more hidden objects. Maybe I'm wrong. Can we clip these ragdolls through the floor? Apparently the ragdolls don't clip through the floor. Not yet. Over here, finding changes in the game. Finding changes to the game I didn't even make. I don't know what you mean. Finding changes. Can you play music in the background? In the background of a Twitch stream. Yeah, so there should be music playing in the background right now. Tell me if you can hear it. It should be playing. I'm trying to make sure that it's not too loud. But yeah, that music that you're hearing, if you are hearing music. Okay, you can hear it. Yeah. That's not coming from the game. Just, yeah. Actually, Percentage Guy, are there any sound effects to the game? It's okay the way it is. Okay, good. Wait, what happens? Should experiment with explosives. Okay, do that in a minute. Okay. Not yet. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't blocking out any sound effects. I like that you can just make... Actually... Oh, I thought it was from the game. Yeah, okay. I mean, it does kind of go with the game a little bit. Like, it is just kind of like a lo-fi kind of chill thing. Check out the Trello board from time to time. Okay. Yeah, I'll check out the Trello board then. Okay. So what happens if I take a ragdoll and I, like, super scale his head? Like, just so that it eclipses. I like how it's just like eclipses the rest of the body. It just pushes the rest of the body away. It's great. Big brain. Yeah, exactly. It is the expression of big brain. 9,000 IQ. Oh boy. Just crush everyone with your big brain. Alright, let's see what happens with the explosives. Is there any way? Oh wow. Huh. So do explosives blow each other up? So if I have two explosives, they don't blow each other up. Okay. So there are ways to lock things in place, right? Am I wrong? There are ways to lock things, right? Contact offset, sleep threshold, ping, add force. So how do the vector 3s sort of work? Slow-mo shooters. Mass, anti-alien, decrease. RLT ref probes. Reflection. Shadow solutions, soft particles. Staring facing billboards towards the camera? Oh, okay. You can detonate multiple explosive multiple times in a row if you spam it. Oh. Huh. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Transform child out of bounds? Interesting. I don't know what that means. I actually don't know what that means. Transform child out. What did you do? Oh, you can just... Is it infinite? Can you just keep doing that? Oh my god. What just happened? Wow, that guy... Huh, that's interesting. That guy appeared to be... are you on Instagram? I am not. I don't really understand Instagram. Like, I don't get what people use it for. So, oh, okay, so it's not infinite. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Where is it going? Because you see it sometimes it kind of warps off to the side. Where is it going? Bounds means that you're trying to find a child. Transform child out of bounds? Huh. Yeah, I do like the amount of times that you can detonate an explosive. That's funny, but yeah, where does it go whenever it like warps off to the side? Or is it being affected by something else? Anyways, we have the road to the circle, the cube, all that stuff. Alright. So, okay, what happens if we just create a bunch of circles and then we cause a massive amount of explosions? But I'll fix the explosives tomorrow, okay. Because tomorrow I'll push. I mean, I guess we could do like fluid simulations with the circles, but they're less interesting. Nothing special. Special. Alright. So let's go here. Let's move you a little bit out of the way. Alright, now explosive. Just create a massive explosion. Oh, it doesn't do what I had hoped. Sadness. But yeah, one thing I'd recommend is scaling up the explosives. I like how everything just goes flying. It's great. I wonder if, so if we clear everything, and what if we just create, I don't know, like a confined little area here. Yeah, how about that? We'll just create a nice little wall, and then we create an explosive, and then we pack as many circles into here as we can, and then we blow it up and see what happens. See if we can glitch the physics. You should also close that console. Yeah, I should. What are your PC specs? I don't know. Well, the only thing I know about it is that it has 32 gigs of RAM, which I need to upgrade. It needs to be 64. Yeah, it has 32 gigs of RAM, and also it has like a very old 970 in it. Like a, oh God, what was it? A NVIDIA 970, I think. It's the very tiny one. Or it's the smaller. Like, I got this back when the 1080 was new, so that should tell you about how old it is. And yeah. So after that, check out the trello board. I do like how we can just fill this with circles like this, and it's just like it can't do anything. All right, so let's try this. Oh, Unity did not like that. Unity did not like that. Actually, I bet you I can detonate many explosives. Yeah, Unity really didn't like that. Oh my god. Oh my god, Unity really doesn't like that. Is that causing issues for the stream? I didn't see. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's fine. Oh my god. It isn't. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm always worried Unity go burr. Oh, I might be scaling up the speed though. Actually, let's make Unity suffer. Let's watch this in slow motion. Oh, actually, with the low time scale, it seems fine. I think it's the high time scale. Yeah, it's the high time scale that it doesn't like. I guess it's because it has to go faster. Huh. I like how we're just like, yeah, Unity thick, basically. Yeah, I like how we're just like destroying everything, and of course the radio is completely indestructible. Clear everything. Oh, the radio can be cleared that way, okay. You'll also fix the time scale. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think if you end up like moving it a little bit, yeah, okay, because it selects the time scale and you just need to deselect it, I think. Oh yeah, the radio can't be destroyed, right. Okay. So we can do the same thing, but we can do that with ragdolls. Let's see what happens with ragdolls. Same thing, we're just gonna build a little wall of lights here. Oh, no, don't. Hang on, do lights? Have you ever heard of Raji? Is that a streamer or is that a game, Sid? I haven't heard of it, unfortunately. Oh no, ragdolls have joints. Yep. Let's see what happens. So we'll just put you down there. It's an Indian game. I thought I heard the name, but I could be wrong. You have been on some watch list by the Unity physics engine. Well, I think the Unity physics engine has got... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, I think it's gotten clever because it wasn't gonna let me actually spawn the explosive. Okay. This will probably destroy my PC, but let's give it a go. Oh boy. Yep, it is. It did spike my CPU a little bit there. Alright. It's just completely destroyed. I think Unity uses Box 2D for 2D projects. I thought it used Bullet 2D, but they might have changed it. You've been on some watch lists. Let me check that out actually. Let's say Unity 2D physics engine. Is it Box 2D now? I thought it was Bullet, but I might be wrong. Does it say? Oh, why does it not? For dots-based product. Oh yes, it uses Box 2D. Hey Zaysha. Am I wrong that it used... So I thought that it used Bullet at one point. Am I wrong about that? Like, is that just a thing that I imagined? Or is there some relationship between Bullet and Box, or did it get replaced, or... Yeah, I don't know. Never used Bullet. Really? Huh. Okay. I don't know why I thought it did. I must just be crazy. I don't know what we can try next. Is there anything I missed? Like any new features that I missed? Say also, try to reproduce that crash. Blender uses Bullet. Okay, maybe that's where I'm confused. For 3D, if you can, okay. Let me see if I can... So I don't remember what I did. Was I trying to... What caused the crash? Do you remember? Was it me loading the level, or was it me closing the console? Actually, wait a minute. Oh, that's interesting. Why does it let me do that now? It wasn't letting me do that before. Hey, it's all the devs and smart people. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in this chat are pretty smart. You had a ton of rotors, and then you tried... Ah, okay, right. I had a ton of rotors, and I tried to open the console. Right. Okay. So yeah, let's just create a ton of rotors. I wonder if having too many objects causes an issue? Sure, there we go. There's all the rotors. I like how they just freak out randomly, just sometimes. that one is decided. That one is great. I have no idea where the rotors are jelly now. I like it because it's not even on, and it's like, no, you can't turn me off. I will not be turned off. Alright. So we can just turn that rotor on and cause some chaos, and then we can turn that one on and cause some chaos. Yeah, I know some of them were on, so I do want to try to turn them on. But yeah, it's great. Alright, so let's do that, and then let's try to open the console. Yeah, okay, so it does seem that that causes the crash for no reason. Oh. Interesting. Ah, okay. I think you're logging something, and I think that's the... Oh, God. Alright. I don't know if those two things were related, but I did see the stream go down. I don't know if those two things were related, but I did see the stream go down right then. Yeah. Okay, it should be back, right? The stream is back. So add that to the Discord channel. Yep. Alright, gotta move this over to here. I'll do that. Tons of rotors. Alright. Let me grab this. Let's see here. I think we can open one of this. Yeah, do that. So let's see. Alright, should I... Is it enter shift? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's back. Okay, yeah. Let me, okay. So, let me write this. What happened? Game go burr. Okay. Whoops, I'm gonna edit that. Game go burr. Let's see. What did you expect to happen? Game not go burr. What did you expect to happen? Okay. There's that. Let's see. We can do 0. Can do 1. Also make sure you follow the format. Yeah, I'm gonna follow the format. Let's do that. What is affected? So the rotors. Well, rotors plus console. When you have a bunch of rotors in a situation you didn't stream, I have no idea. Well, no, I'm gonna add a thing. I'm gonna add a thing. When you have a bunch of rotors, then you have a bunch of rotors. And try to open the console. With the console, the game crashes. Yeah. Game not crash. The number of rotors should not affect the game, or should not crash the game. Should not affect whether game crashes when you open the console. And then we have the rotors and the console, and then what else? How do you reproduce the bug? Okay. Why am I doing dots? I don't know why I'm doing dots here. Alright. Let's see. What is affected? Affected. And then also, how do you reproduce? Use the bug. Open or spawn a bunch of rotors. Let's say approximately 100. Approximately 100. And then open the console. Game should crash. Okay. There we go. I think that's right. So yeah, tell me if that's closer to what you think the format should look like. Is this good? Okay. So I've done that. So now, so percentage guy, is there anything else that I missed, or was that all the stuff that you wanted me to look at? Okay, looks good. Okay. Also, I don't know if people here are here who are not with the pre-stream, but I did some updating to the all the fun stuff. So, for instance, like the intermission stuff now looks like this. The pre-stream stuff looks like this. It's pretty cool. But yeah, just wanted to show that to people who haven't seen it. Okay, I think that's it. All right. So in that case, then we will move on to working on our game for the Black and White Game Jam, or the B&W Game Jam, whatever we call it. Okay, so the missions are due in 12 days. I think there's another Game Jam that I wanted to work on though as well. so we're going to try to finish this up in a couple days. Anyway, the rules for this is that we have to use grayscale, so that's what we have in this game. I did a little bit of work on it, so it's basically, also, what is that? Okay. Yeah, so I did a little bit of work on it. I decided that we're going to take, so since Vulcan removed the submarines from his game, I thought I'd put them into mine. So yeah, the idea is that you eat submarines because you're a sea monster and you don't like humans. But anyway, I did change it so that the tail, all the different tail segments, what they do is they follow at a different rate, so there shouldn't be any like spaces between the tail segments anymore. And also, if you try to go out of the water, you get physics applied and some weird things that happen. It's not that you don't like humans, it's that the humans are tasty. Hey, Grumpy Gamedev, how's it going? Yeah, humans are tasty. And also, if you try to, you know, go into the walls now, you get, basically it just resets your normal. So I finally did get to sleep, but it was like at 6 a.m. or something. So yeah, hoping that my sleep schedule resets nicely, but I don't know that it will. But yeah. Did you get to see the stuff that I did for the pre-stream and post-stream stuff? Because I think it turned out pretty nice. So I worked on it basically all of yesterday, and so it's kind of like this. I did this basically with JavaScript and stuff, with like it's a web page. I've been in training today. Ah, okay. It's always fun. But yeah, I did this with like a web page, because it dawned on me yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, OBS can render a web page, so I'm like, oh, I can make, you know, various things in JavaScript and HTML, and you can get these nice effects. So yeah, seems more pink and blue. Yeah, yeah, it is a little bit pink and blue. Can probably touch up the colors a little bit. Yeah, I didn't do the artwork. That artwork was done by somebody else. I'm not that much of an artist, but I did do the animations, and I'm proud of them because it took me a long time. It's been a long time since I've used magenta and blue. Yeah, it's from, what is it? I was taking inspiration from the Purple Tower. I liked the colors so much. You know, not that there's any, yeah, not that I made this before I watched the Purple Tower or anything. I was very clairvoyant. Yeah, so that tower was very purple, and it was also not much of a tower, but it was still, you know, well, it was the Lavender Tower. That's what we agreed to call it, right? The Lavender Tower. And was that the one? I think that's the one that was full of spiders, right? I think that's right. Spiders that wouldn't look at you. I think I'm remembering that right. Okay, so yeah. I think also lavender was the ultimate choice with spiders. Yeah, that avoid eye contact. Yeah. Okay, so I think that fixed that. But yeah, I fixed a bunch of stuff with this. I'm not super happy with that animation, but it's the best that I could really do. I think I made it, yeah, the water now follows you, so you can't ever get to the edge of it. And I think the camera also looks a little bit ahead of where you're moving. So it gives this kind of weird, like it kind of, you know, like the camera is normally like focused here, so if you move up, it kind of focuses like that. I think that's what I did with it. Yeah. So I gotta figure out what else we're gonna do. I think we're gonna make some enemies. And so I think the idea of the enemies, they're gonna be some kind of plant that kind of sits on the bottom and kind of like lunges at you. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I know that the submarines kind of behave in a little bit of a weird way, but we can fix that later. Anyway, I'm going to turn off all of the weird camera effects. Actually, someone who knows Unity, I was looking for a way to turn off all of the camera effects, because they go to like my main, like the post-processing goes to the scene camera, and I was not able to find a way to turn off the post-processing effects on my main camera. Is there, or is it just not shaded? No, it's not that. Right, no, okay. So is there a way to basically turn off the camera effects? Because I can't find it. The only way that I know to do it is going into the camera and then actually just deactivating post-processing volume. That makes it so much easier. Just turn off the post-processing component. Yeah, but is there any way to do it from the scene rather than having to remember to turn off the post-processing stuff? Because, like, that seems like a massive pain. Like, I know that you can do that, but it's like a massive pain. Yeah, I was looking for a setting for it. It's probably there. Has to be somewhere in the Disney arrays of menus and submenus. Maybe. Like, that's one of the problems that that nobody seems to have solved yet, which is like, as a software system grows more complex, like, how do you avoid all the submenus and stuff? Like, the particularly egregious example is Visual Studio. Like, dear God, the number of submenus that this has is just unbelievable. And, you know, submenus of submenus of submenus, and then you do, like, test options, and you get a whole new menu component that, for whatever reason, is just immune to the theming of the original application, which I don't understand. But whatever, it apparently spawns from this application, but, you know, the theming is inconsistent. Because why would it be? And then you have this whole tree. It's like, oh God, what have we done? Disabling the volume, I think, or just switch camera to a different layer. Huh. So if I, though, disable the volume seems most simple. Oh, okay. So there's no, like, tool for it? Okay. I was wondering, I was like, surely I'm missing a tool somewhere. Like the Gizmos tool or something. Like, I was thinking it might be in Gizmo's setting, but it's not. Or maybe the camera setting, because, you know. Oh, same camera. Okay. Yeah, actually I would have thought that it would have been in here. You'd just have a thing that would just be like, hey, you know, post-processing or no post-processing. But no, apparently not. Sadness. Okay. So the way that I want to do this enemy, at least I think, let's duplicate you, because I want you to be roughly the same size as the player. And so let's unpack this completely. And it's going to have a similar thing where it has like all the tail segments. So this is going to be, I don't know, enemy. I'll call that good for now. So we don't really need, I don't know what it's going to have. It's not really going to have the mandibles. Or you mean the scene view? Yeah, I meant, is there any way that I can disable the post-processing effects for the scene view? Yeah, sorry, I know I didn't say that very well, but yeah. The thing that bothers me is that it's hard to work like this, and I'm not sure how I can, like, just turn it off. Like, the first place that I would want to go is right here, and then just say, like, you know, disable post-processing or something. But, yeah. There's a render layers toggle for those sorts of things. A render layers toggle, huh? Where would that be? Along the left side of the scene toolbar. Is it this? The left side? Is it no? Toggled on? Oh, is this? Oh, okay. Actually, is that a thing, really? Oh, okay. I would not have thought to look for that. Okay. Oh, okay, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, I knew there must be something like this. This is not the gizmo I would have expected for it, but that makes sense. Okay. I was like, there's got to be some way, right? I should have just Googled it, but I didn't. Alright. Yeah, thank you. I was like, surely there's a way. I don't know, what kind of critter is this going to be? I don't know. You can toggle lights and sound there too. Huh. So it seems to be consistent. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You can turn audio on and off. Wait a minute, when was that a thing? Oh. Oh. Huh, okay, I guess that makes sense. I don't know, because my first thought was I saw the camera and I was like, oh, maybe there's a thing to enable such disable post-processing. But I guess it makes sense because you can put the post-processing on its own rendering layer. I figure some small portion of Visual Studio 2019 was code that existed in C++ 1.0 in 1993, so it's no wonder that the menus... Yeah, okay, that's fair. An option page is out of control. Yeah, I mean, Eclipse has a similar problem. I mean, though Eclipse has a much worse problem. But it's a similar thing with Eclipse, is where it's just like, there's 50 billion menus, and it's like, dear God, why? And it seems like we haven't figured out, like as an industry, we haven't figured out how to deal with it quite yet. All IDs mention the faces problem, yeah. Okay, so we can remove the animators from this. And then we can add some kind of enemy component, or no, sure, we'll call it enemy component for now. So, enemy component. And so basically what we want to do is whenever we get too close to an enemy, we want that enemy to just like kind of lunge toward us and then come back to rest wherever it was. So we can say private void update, even VS Code. Is getting jumped up with components, yeah. It's too bad we can't like come up with a solution to that. I mean, I guess the best... Well, actually, wait a minute. First off, I need my camera to be in the right place. I had to move it because Gravelbox had UI components over here, and I didn't want to block them. But yeah, okay. Yeah, like that's... I think that's sort of like one of the next things is trying to figure out how we can simplify all the options and stuff. Okay. So, wow, my brain is really not able to think right now. Okay, so I guess what we want to do is when... we'll just trigger it with a key for now. What we can do... I'm trying to think about this. We can say private void... Say on awake, we want to store our position, like where we are. So protected vector 3. The idea is so we know where to return later. Start position. So start position is equal to transform.position. That's fine. And then when the player gets close, in this case, we'll just trigger it with some kind of input get key down. Just trigger it manually so that we can see what it does without having to worry about the trigger distance. So if we do that, then we kind of want to lunge towards the player for a short amount of time. And then, there's a couple ways to do this. One of the ways that I usually do this whenever I need like a pseudo state machine. So we have like this idea of it's got two states, it's kind of waiting and then it's kind of lunging and then it's, well, three states. So it'd be like kind of waiting and then lunging and then kind of retracting. So the way that I usually do it is I just store a protected action. And this will just be the update. And so what we'll do is we'll have a private void or protected void update wait. Or state, I guess. Yeah, state waiting. And then we'll have a couple methods for this. So we'll have the waiting, we'll have the lunge, and then we'll have retract. Because we're going to be doing different things in each case. Then what we will do is in update, we will say that we want to run the update state, or the update method there. So in awaiting, we will just have our code there. Should be good. And then in awake, update. Actually, remind me. I don't think you can point this to something here, right? You can't just say stay waiting. That's not a thing here. Yeah, okay. I don't remember why that doesn't work, but I seem to remember it doesn't. So say update and then say state waiting. Yeah. Remind me, this can point to a static method though, can't it? Private static. I'm trying to figure out why though. That's interesting. So, not food. Static void. Am I wrong that this can point? Yeah, this can point to a static method, but it can't point to an instance method. I'm really not sure why. I'm trying to think of why, and I really can't figure it out. So, okay. If we're in state waiting, and then we press Q for instance, what we can do is we can say state lunge, or we can say update is equal to state lunge. Right? Then we will store a protected float state, well, say lunge end. Then we'll say that the lunge end is equal to time.time plus, I don't know, can lunge for 1 second. Then if we're in this sort of lunge kind of state, what we do is we say if time greater lunge end, then we say that the state is equal to, or not state, update, is equal to state retract. That's all we need to do. Otherwise, what we want to do, or no, what we want to do is we want to say that our transform.up, no, we want to rotate towards the player. So the rotation is going to be, or no, not rotation, but notice rotation is equal to quaternion. I think we can say rotate towards, yeah, rotate towards from transform up towards the actual, so our current rotation is transform up, the player's current rotation is our position minus the player's position, so we need to know where the player is. So we can say protected game object, we'll say player. Actually, really, we can just say transform. This doesn't even necessarily need to be the player, this can just be the target. That's probably better. So I think it's transform.position minus target.position. It's where we are minus where we want to go. I think that's right. And then the max delta, we'll just say that that's equal to the rotation speed. Have a protected float for that, which we can actually set not here, here. As a protected float, this will be the rotation speed, more like the turn speed actually. So we'll say serialized field. Call this the turn speed because it'll be how well it can turn to face the player. And that'll be at 90 degrees per second. That's relatively slow. So we'll say turn speed times time delta time. And it doesn't like that. Why? So that's transform up. Oh, is it? It's a rotation. Right. Transform.rotation. Right. Var target rotation equal to quaternion dot look rotation. That's what it is? Yeah, okay. So the forward is, I think, where we are minus where we want to go. Something like that. So it would be the target rotation. Then we'll have our current rotation, and then that's the rotation that we want. This rotate towards, rotates a rotation from to. I can't remember if this returns the rotation itself. I think it does, which is why we would say transform.rotation. Okay. Can't use variable quaternion before it's declared. What did I do wrong? Hang on. Transform.rotation. Okay, I don't know what I just did there, but that was weird. Okay, so we have transform.rotation is equal to that, rotate towards that, from there to there, by that, cool, and then if the time.time is greater than lunge end, then we change to state retract. And then with that, what we want to do is we want to say that our rotation is the inverse of our starting position. So basically we want to rotate from our start position. So it kind of would retract back facing away from where it started. And then the rotation is equal to that times turn speed times that. I think that's fine. We actually probably want to bump turn speed up a little bit. Because technically if we reached a rotation through our turn speed, then we should be able to get back through the same turn speed, but just to be double sure. And so what we'll say is if the vector3.distance between our current position and our start position is greater or is less than 1/10 of a unit, then our transform.position is equal to our start position. And, well, actually 1/10 is kind of big. 1/20th? Yeah, 1/20th is probably fine. So our transform.positions is we just snap back to our start position. And then we change the state to, say, update is equal to state waiting. Yeah. Okay. And we need to have, now we need to have like a, we've just changed the rotation, we haven't actually changed the velocity. So we need a rigid body here. Detected rigid body 2D, this is the rigid body. Right, so we'll do this, and it will say rigid body dot velocity equals, in this case, since we're in state retract, it's going to be minus transform dot forward times move speed. So basically, want to move it backwards. I think is transform dot not transform dot forward. I was always wrong with this. It's transform dot up, and there's no transform dot down, so we'll do transform minus transform dot up. And then we'll create a movement speed. This will be a protected float move speed, and we'll say, I don't know, 1 unit per second. That's extremely slow, but we can change it later. Not serializable, serialized field. And then all we have to do is set the velocity right here. There we go. Times move speed. Okay. Maybe the retract speed's a bit slower, so we'll say times 0.8. That's probably fine. Okay, so I think this works. All right, let's give it a shot. So what should happen is this will be our little enemy here. Let's discolor you to, I don't know, something red. Well, yeah, let's discolor this for a minute just so that we know that it's the enemy. All right, we'll add an enemy component to it. Yep. All that's fine, and then we add a rigid body 2D. You will have no gravity applied. Then we'll put you there. Alright, let's see what happens. Did we ever set the lunge end time? I don't know that we did. Anyway. Object reference not an instance of an object. Oh right, because the target is never registered. So we do set the lunge end time. Let's set it for 3 seconds. And then the target is going to be equal to the player, so we'll just say it's equal to find object of type player controller component dot game object dot transform. Yeah, there we go. And we can fix this a bit later. This is basically just for testing. Yeah, let's check this out and see what we get here. Alright, so let's see. If I press Q, you do break. Okay. Interesting. So why do you break? Okay. So from transform.position to target.position, maybe that's going the wrong way. So let's say that the array is equal, oh, that's just debug.log. Or not log, oh, not log, draw array. Draw array. Just draw a ray in that direction. Like that. That takes a start and a direction. Alright, so the start will be a transform position. Let's see which way you actually want to turn. And look at that in 3D. Because something could be wrong there. Okay. And let's go here. Alright. So, right. What we'll do is we will start here and then we will hit Q. Interesting. I don't actually see the ray. Why do I not see the ray? Because is Gizmo's not. Okay. Huh. I don't know why that's... Oh, I do know why that's happening. Okay. So as I thought, it's drawing the ray backwards. That's one issue. I don't know why it's turning across the other axes, but okay. I don't see why it would need to. But okay. So what we can do is we can say that we want the position minus this position. So since this is backwards, we're also going to want, I think this needs to be the other way then. Yeah, because it's our position minus the target position, so that'll be backwards. Then the actual rotation will be that. Hey, Almighty Rads, how's it going? I don't think I've seen you here before. But we are just working on some stuff for the, I think, Black and White Game Jam it's called. And yeah, working on some enemy stuff right now. So, alright, so let's be quaternion dot Euler at rotation dot x rotation dot y. Alright, no. We want, we only want to copy the z from this. We don't actually want all of the rotations. But yeah, what draws you to the stream? Do you do any kind of Unity stuff? Been here before, but a while ago. Working, oh god, yeah, oh right, yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Yeah. That was like back in January, early February maybe? That had to be late January, early February, but yeah, I was working on some testing stuff. But unfortunately I don't have that job anymore, so I'm too far separated to actually do anything useful with the testing framework, unfortunately. I still think about it every once in a while. It was kind of fun. Yeah. I don't know. I might have to go back to it someday. Especially now that I'm doing more with JavaScript and stuff. Yeah, what kind of stuff? I actually have a question. Have you done anything with voxelizing? Trying to think of what would qualify. Not really. Like, what are you trying to? I guess what are you trying to do? And what do you mean by like voxelizing? Do you mean like taking? Because I think that could mean two or three things. Like the first thing that comes to mind is you're talking about like you have a 3D model and you want to convert it to down to voxels or something, or do you mean something more like a video game world? Take a 3D model, turn it into voxels. Ah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately I've not done anything with that. That's gotta be hard. I can't even imagine how you do that. Yeah, not really. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I have not really done anything with that. I mean, I'm sort of familiar with the concept. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, struggling a little. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I imagine that the way that they do it, well, I don't know, do they usually... Does it usually go... I'm trying to think of how you do that. I guess one way... It's kind of like a best fit kind of thing, probably. Yeah, I'm trying to... I actually don't know. The only sort of voxel-based stuff that I'm used to is building. It's kind of like SVG, but like, actually, well, no, because I know that. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be like a similar concept to taking an image and converting it to SVG, but just like sort of in reverse. I mean, the way that I would. So, like, sort of the way that I'm thinking about it is like you try to. Well, I don't know, because with SVG it's a little bit different because you have like paths that you can trace. Yeah, I'm actually trying to think about that. That's an interesting challenge. How would you voxelize stuff? Because that's weird. Well, it's not rotating towards the player, unfortunately. Yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure how you do that. But welcome back, percentage guy. And also, why? I thought the Z rotation was the thing. Yeah, it is the Z rotation. So why is that not rotating on the Z axis? Why is it only generating rotations? It's never generating rotations. Interesting. Why is it never generating rotations? Should have figured out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you got me thinking about how that would work now. About how the voxelizing stuff would work. I'm really thinking. I don't know, that's an interesting little puzzle. Why? It's one of those things where it's like you want to come up with an answer, but you really can't. I don't know. You want to come up with an answer, but I can't think of one. Like, I'm not even sure what. Like, the only stuff with voxelizing that I've done, or that I've heard of at least, is like the mesher kind of stuff that Minecraft does. Or, well, there's got to be a way. Because I'm thinking of like 3D sort of destructible terrain, right? Like, because what that seems to do. Well, no, because I think the way that that might work. I guess one thing you could do is you could take the 3D space and then you could convert it to cubes of a certain size, maybe, and then like sort of look at the shape of the different cubes in 3D space. And so the idea would be that you'd be left, like some cubes would be in the shape of a larger cube, and you would know that you could, you know, like turn that into its own little cube, right? And then for things that looked more spherical, you might be able to do some kind of matching on that to find like the biggest sort of, well, actually you'd want cubes first, and then you could find like some kind of square or, you know, circular volumes and things like that. Yeah, maybe converting it to cubes first might be the way to do it. And that way you can just check, you know, you can sort of check the volumes. I mean, obviously it won't be perfect. Like, you know, you'll have some level of error, but I think that might be a good, at least first start. Actually, let me look at that. What is the actual voxelization algorithm? How does it get described whenever people say it? Voxelization algorithm. Yeah, that's how you spell that. Oh, would you look at that? It converts it to cubes. Well, you know, that's probably what I would end up doing. Yeah, something close to that, and then that way you can sort of figure out what kind of volumes fit in the various cubes. So that's interesting. But yeah, if you have something like this, like you can break down all the volumes and figure out which ones fit into cubes and whatnot. See, something like that. That's probably what I would do. That's kind of neat, though. And yeah, of course, there's certain errors, but you know. And obviously, the idea wouldn't be that you'd end up with some kind of cubic thing at the end. The idea would be that you'd end up with, you know, if you found cubes in the shape of like a sphere, you know, then you would create that as a sphere and you would end up with the sphere at the end. But the idea would be that you'd be able to, you know, store that as saying, hey, there's a sphere here, as opposed to, hey, there's, you know, a bunch of cubes here. Or, you know, a bunch of arbitrary geometry here. You'd only render the faces of the cube on the exterior. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, what I was talking about for, like, for voxelization, because rendering what you cannot see is silly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think most engines handle that, or most, like, rendering engines do a lot of work to make it so that we don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. So I'm very curious why this is not... Very curious why this is not working. One day I'll have to worry about that stuff, but not today. They do backface culling and use depth buffers to take care of most of it. Yeah, okay. So that's why you get kind of the weird pop-in stuff whenever you, you know, you're like half the camera is obscured. Like sometimes, you know, some object will just warp out of existence or something. It's kind of what that is. It's like it thinks that it's hidden for some reason when it's not. We want to be in the scene. Alright, so let's press Q. Okay, so it is absolutely figuring out the right direction. It's just not looking at it. And I don't know why. Huh. That's weird. Oh, was there a thing you have to do where... Is it rotate towards, or is it... So we have a look rotation here. Oh, do we need to put in the upward for this? I think we do, right? We need to put in transform.up. I think that's right. I think that's what it is. I always forget that we have to do that. Oh wait, no. That's forward. Or is it transform.up? Oh my god, I always forget how to do this. So we don't have that. We rotate towards, we don't look at. I think the food does it. Yeah, so this... okay, so it puts in transform.forward and then transform.up. Okay. That's how it works. That's the problem. Okay. So since this is a 2D game, we want to change the upward rotation. We don't want to change the forward rotation. And so what this will do is this should fix that. Because I was changing the forward rotation, and so it's no real wonder. Yeah, there we go. Wait a minute, was that actually doing a thing? It seems to be trying to rotate this way, but it's not really. So that one was working. If this is rotate towards, is there any way to put it in here as well? No. So that was forward. So upward. So we're not rotating towards that. Transform.rotation. Rotation turn speed times time.delta time. Did the turn speed get set to 0 for some reason? Is that what happened? No, the turn speed is at 90, which should be fine. Turn speed should be there. U, 90 times time.delta time. Here's a look rotation. Okay, maybe we don't need... If we don't need all this, maybe we can just do that. And we'll be fine. Maybe? Alright, let's see. Alright, so we'll go here. There we go, now it's rotating towards us. That's what I wanted. Okay. So now we can change a couple things. First thing we can do is we need to fix this. So we don't need this anymore. We can put this over here. because we were canceling out all the rotation except for the Z rotation. And I don't think that works in this case. I think that it's doing something weird with negative rotation. But anyway, what we want to do is whenever we start weighting, we want to say that the rigid body dot velocity is equal to 0. Oh, not 0. Vector 2 dot 0. There we go. Okay, that'll stop us from moving. We don't need to do anything there. And yeah, okay. So now let's just do a little bit of editing here. Let's make this the right color again. Where's the terrain? We can copy you. We can copy the enemy's graphics and something like that. Okay. Alright, so here. Let's say we get here. What will happen is the enemy will lunge at us. It'll move a lot faster than that, and then it'll try to go back to wherever it was sitting. Then yeah, it'll come after us. It'll be some kind of eel-like creature is what it'll be. And so the question is segments. How does it spawn the segments for it is the question. So we can create an empty here. We'll call this the enemy. This will be the head. This is the enemy itself. Put the head there, put the segments inside of here. Not in there, but in there. Yeah. Alright. Put them at 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0. Okay. And move the enemy over here. Alright. And so what we want is first off, to be able to edit the target. So put this... Oh. Why did I do that? I don't remember why I did that. It's so weird. Don't know why I put the get instead in there. Okay, that's fine. Shouldn't break anything yet, does it? Okay. So set the head as the target here. And let's duplicate this a couple times. So for you, we'll set you as the target and then duplicate you. And for you, we'll set you as a target. So that should cause a little bit in the way of like kind of a tail from it. And so let's set the lunge speed to, I don't know, like 3 or something. Also, where'd the enemy component go? Oh. Well, that's in the wrong place. Let's remove you, and let's remove you. You have Circle Collider, you have an enemy component. Here, the rigid body is there. Let's say the move speed is 3, turn speed is 120. Something like that. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now, if we hit Q, it sort of lunges at us. Yeah, kind of like that. Whoops. Don't know if that's the effect that I want there. But yeah, do that. Yeah, it's not really the effect that I want. I'm not sure how to get the effect that I want. Are you a Star Trek watcher? I have seen Star Trek. I like the show, but I have not seen like every episode or anything. But yeah, I've seen it. So yeah, you can probably make like general references, and I'll probably get them. Like I know the crew of the Enterprise and everything like that. Like I'm most familiar with the original stuff. Not familiar so much with the newer stuff. I'll take that as a kind of, yeah. Like, I've seen it, but, yeah, if you try to mention stuff from, like, the next generation or stuff, if you want me to tell which, you know, season a crew member is from, I probably can't do that. But, yeah, kind of a Star Trek watcher. This is definitely not the effect that I want. I think what I want is I want the segments to be an average. I think they need to be an average of their starting position to the head position. So rather than having them be like a follow, something like, because that is sort of the effect that I want. I want the thing to kind of lunge out at us and then go back and then kind of retract into whatever wherever it came from. Yeah, okay. So let's remove the segment stuff. Okay. So we'll have the enemy component here. So like a sea anemone, kinda, yeah. Kinda like that. Well, it's kind of like the idea is kind of like an eel, like it kind of, you know, kind of lunges out at you and then it comes back. At least, I think that's how eels work. It may just be that I don't know how eels work, but yeah. That's sort of the idea. So yeah, I think what I want is protected, avoid, and we'll say reposition segments. And so what we'll do is for each segment, we'll basically say that segment X, you know, needs to be X, you know, X over the segment numbers as a percentage of the distance from the head or something. I think that's the way I'd do this. So we'll say using system collections generic, and we probably want link at some point. So we'll say protected, let's say list. So I don't know, Grumpy Gamedev, I assume you're a Star Trek fan? Like, are you like a really huge Star Trek fan, or, you know, is it just kind of you watch it whenever you can? Say segments. So we'll say segments is equal to new list of game object. Watched a lot of it. Okay. Yeah, my father is the same way. He's probably seen like every single episode of it that has like ever existed. He used to own, I think, probably the complete series. It was like just like everything. It was these DVDs that they came in like this like nice kind of it was kind of like a plastic box almost. Star Trek DVD sets. Let me see if I can actually find them. I don't see them here, but they came in like this nice plastic, yeah. They came in that kind of box. Yeah, he had those kind of things. But he had a ton of those. But yeah. He used to... the animal you're making is a bobbit worm. Okay, well, if YouTube wants to cooperate. But yeah, that's the only reason I know about Star Trek, is that he'd always have Star Trek on. He'd have like anytime he was watching anything idle. Yeah, basically like this. Yeah, it kind of like lunges out. That's very interesting. I've never seen them act like this though. I've sort of seen them, but never... That fish is like really tempting fate there. Yeah, the way that I've seen them is they just bury themselves, and then they like... Geez, that fish is not really smart, is he? Yeah, they like bury themselves, and then... Yeah, wow, I've never seen them... Or is that a person with a fish? Is that a dead fish? That's probably a dead fish, right? That fish isn't behaving like it's alive. And now I see that it's being held on its side. Yeah, I assume they're feeding it, right? Is that what they're doing? Oh yeah, feeding it. Yeah, okay. I was like, there's no way that fish is that stupid. Yeah, I've seen them do this, where they just kind of sit there and then, yeah, they just kind of jump up and snap at something. That's what I've seen. Yeah, they do that. And they use the little antenna things to... Okay. Fish got out of the way fast. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I want. It's where it kind of like lunges towards the player and then it kind of retracts whenever it, you know, can't get what it wants. Alright. So we have the new list of game objects. Actually, we can just move this to up here because there's no reason not to. And so what we'll do is probably want a segment prefab and sort of like the length. So let's say protected game object, and we'll say segment prefab, and then this will be serialized field, and we'll say protected int, and we'll say length, and we'll just have serialized field there. All right. And so what we can do is in awake we can say enumerable. What is it? Enumerable dot range 0 to length. Then we can say for each, or sorry, to list for each. Then we can instantiate a version of the tail. So we can say segments. Whoops. We can say segments. No. Segments dot add instantiate segment. Segment prefab. Prefab, transform position and transform rotation. Rotation? Cool. There we go. What on earth? Do we need another one? I guess we did. Okay. So yeah, we can instantiate that. Alright. So 0 to length, all that's fine. We've added all that. Okay. I mean, I guess what we can do is rather than doing this, we could say add all. Yeah, I don't really care too much. Or we could just actually, we could assign the list. Yeah, we could do this more efficiently. So we could say that segments is equal to this, and then what we could do is instead of that, we could select, and instead of doing segments.add, we can just do this. Select it to that, and then to list. That way we only create one list as opposed to two, and just get rid of that. There we go. That's better. So for repositioning segments, all we need to do is we need to say segments for each. Or no, actually we need to, wait a minute. I always forget if there's a way in link. No, there's not. All right. Unfortunately, like some reactive programming stuff lets you, like some of it lets in a for each, like some of it lets you do like a for each with index. Like, you know, it would give you like, you know, segment, a way in link to do what? So what I want is I want to pass in, I want the index as well. So I know that there's some versions of, wait, that's not a thing, hang on. Yeah, I know that there's some ways to say for each thing I want both the thing and the index, but I don't remember how to do it. I know that some of them let you do it, but others don't. And is there a way to select with index? Is that what you can do? Ah, so it's select with index. Okay, that's how you do it. But is there any way? Because we don't really want to select. Can we just select to null? Is that valid? But select doesn't run. So I think this works, right? There's no argument for that? Is there no argument for that? Oh wait, I can't figure it out. Oh right. Sure, to game object. But then this select s to s index plus plus. I have to ask, you know the cons of link. The only con of link that I know, well, there's probably a couple things. The first one is I know that it generates lambdas, and that lambdas are not super efficient. And then the other thing is that it's slower. Generally speaking, it's slower. So we can do int index is equal to 0. Did I miss I enumerable? Segment select s to select, so this would be segment to segment index plus plus. Huh. Enumerable is what often makes link stuff suck. So what, I guess, what are the cons of link, and like why, so why does IEnumerable, it can generate a lot of garbage. Okay, yeah. So what about IEnumerable makes link stuff suck, I guess? Like what's so bad about it? Yeah, I know that lambdas don't, like in link and Java, they're kind of weird. It's not evaluated immediately. Well, so you mean, so like this statement here, right? This is lazily evaluated. So that's kind of what I was worried about, right? Is like, that's why I didn't do this to begin with. But I know that what you were saying, yeah, that's why the to list. Oh, so the to list, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because I always wondered why you have to convert things to a list. Like, why? Like, if I wanted to do a for each on this, like, I don't understand. Like, this is one of the differences between C# and Java that I never really understood. Is that on an IEnumerable, why can you not do a for each on an IEnumerable? Like, in Java, you can do, you know, stream.of, you know, whatever. And then instead of select, they use map. So you can do, you know, .map, which is basically the same as select, you know, map A to B or whatever. And then you can immediately go into a for each. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why this doesn't work, but this would. Like, I don't understand why they do it. You add elements to a list, and the iterators are not invalidated as well. That doesn't make it a good idea. In Java, you can add elements to a list. The to list is just horrible in a high-performance context. Yeah, but I mean, the thing with streams, though, is that they can evaluate, like, just the syntax, like, even if, like, just ignoring the performance cost, like, the syntax is just weird if there's a lot of elements. Yeah, but I think with the pipelining here, I think this can evaluate, I think it builds the pipeline and then it evaluates them one at a time, right? It's like, I don't think, you know, in this case, if you do map, let's say B to C, right? If you're doing for each, if you start with the first for each, right? It's finally trying to become more functional. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that they are. But right, like in this case, if you're trying to evaluate C, all you have to do is guarantee that at least one element has gone through these two. You might also consider trying link's aggregate method. Yeah, I've seen aggregate before, but I never really understood. Is this just like collect in Java or something? And what is it even? It's interesting. Yeah, I've seen it before. I'm not entirely sure what it does. But yeah, with this, all you have to do is guarantee that each component has been mapped once. Then you can start on the for each, right? I don't understand why you have to convert it to a list first. Like, it seems like this, I don't know, it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me that you have to convert this to a list first, because it seems like this is like the terminal in the chain. And then you're like, okay, let's do something with the list. I just don't get it. I don't get why you can't build pipelines like this. Because I would imagine that these are a little bit more efficient. There's no for each on IEnumerable. Yeah. Yeah, like I know why, like I know why it doesn't work syntactically, but I don't know why they wouldn't add a for each to IEnumerable, right? Unless there's some reason you can't do unless there's some reason you can't do a for each on an IEnumerable. But yeah. So this is the pair. I mean, I guess, is there a reason that you can't do a for each on it? Also, can I deconstruct this out of questioning? Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to do that? They don't make assumptions on what the backing structure. You can have a function series. They don't make assumptions on what the backing structure of the IEnumerable is. You can have a function that is a series of yield statements. Interesting. So, oh, okay. So, that's interesting. Okay, so if, Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Maybe that has to do with it. Maybe that's why I don't understand it. Maybe that, right, because Java, okay, so Java wouldn't have that issue because Java, when they added streams, didn't have yield. Okay, so I guess I can't deconstruct this. Oh, I can't deconstruct this. Oh, sadness. All right. Fair enough. But yeah, I guess Java didn't have any equivalent to yield whenever they were making that, so. But now they're finally adding it after years and years and years of not having generator functions. They're finally doing it. One day Java will be, you know, up to par with the rest of the industry. Until then, we can sit back and laugh at it. But hey, at least this works. So now, and that's not how you spell segment. I had meant to fix that, but I had not been talking. So yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess that makes sense, because then I guess the to list. So if you had something in here that was a bunch of yield statements, I guess. Well, no, I guess all languages modern use generally drift in the same direction or fall out of use, just like spoken languages. Yeah, I mean, it's the old axiom, right? It's like, you know, there's two types of languages in the world, those people complain about, and then, you know, those that nobody uses. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit sick of, well, I mean, I had to use Java at my previous job, so I'm very familiar with its limitations. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So like, I'm super familiar with its limitations, and like, anytime I would use it, I'd be like, I can do this in C#, but I can't do it in Java. Like, the biggest thing that bothers me about Java is that they don't have, well, there's two big things. One, operator overloading. I don't know why they just seem to like adamantly refuse to add it, and it just makes things so much better. Oh no, three things. So there's operator overloading, the lack of an actual decimal type. Like C#, they just put in a decimal type. Like, why can't Java do this? I don't understand why they can't have a real decimal type. So yeah, operator overloading, decimal types, and then lots of people pay their bills with Java, and there are many who really suffer for years to come. No shame in paying your bills. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that I felt. It's not that I felt ashamed of writing code in Java. It's that I was so sad that it was so constrained. But it's like operator overloading, decimal types, and then they won't just like commit to a difference between value and reference types. They want to still pretend that there's no difference. And it's really annoying because, like, you know, the primitive types behave very much like value types, but they also like bend over backwards in the JVM to make sure they also look like reference types sometimes, and it's just, they just refuse to support a difference, and it's like, guys, just build structs already and just call it, you know, just say that you have them. They're still stuck on OO being, but here's the thing, like OO, like they don't, the problem with Java is that it's not object oriented. Like it's, the weird thing about it is that it claims that it's like object oriented, but it's a procedural language that supports object orientation very heavily. And I mean, C# is kind of similar. So like, you know, the main example that I always use is the if statements, right? Like this is a procedural construct. This is not object oriented. The same is true of like statics, right? Like the whole point of a static is to do something without an object, and so they have like the thing that always bugged me about Java is that people are like, well, it's object oriented, but then the way that you define a program is with a static thing that's not an actual object. Like it just, I don't know, it always bothered me. I'm like, you know, you could probably just point the JVM, like the way that I would do it if I was going to make like a truly object-oriented thing is that like you would, you know, you'd create a main class, but it would just, you know, the JVM would just spin up an instance of that object, right? It'd just spin up a new instance of the main class. And then maybe main would conform to some interface, you know, that would be like application or something. And then you just extend, you implement that method, you know, whatever the main run method was. Then it's purely object-oriented. In order to make a program, it needs a class with a static method. In order to make a program in Java, yeah, or C# before a certain point, yeah, it needs a class. Yeah, it needs a class with a static method. But like the way I would do it, were it me, At which point the C and C++ guys go, yeah, you can just have a main function. Yeah, but I mean the way that I would do it is I have like, you know, public class, you know, whatever your entry point is. Then it would be, you know, implements, you know, application. And then all you'd have to do is you'd have, you know, public, at which point Python guys are asking what's a main function. Yeah, exactly. Their whole file is like a main function. You know, but then you would have, you know, public, you know, void run or something with, you know, string args. And then it'd be like add override, though it's technically not required. Yeah, I don't understand why they can't do this. You know, the JVM just spins up, it just looks for, you know, whatever implements application, creates an instance of it, and then calls run on it. Like, that's object-oriented. I don't know why they can't do that. I don't know. Static always bothered me in object-oriented languages. And that's the overhead of whatever super OO framework they were trying to push that year. Yeah. I mean, I will say that Java has Spring, and that has really, like, Spring, for all of its faults and how heavy it is, it's still a really good thing. It's just like a DI framework that everybody uses now. But yeah, I mean, object orientation has its pros and it has its cons, but like, I don't know, there's a lot of issues. I mean, like, that tends to be why I prefer, if you ever wonder why I prefer Link to everything else, it's because, again, Link is a lot more object-oriented. In the end, functional procedural, yeah, they're all just tools. I agree. But the thing that bothers me about Java specifically and the object-oriented stuff is that people want to claim that one tool is another tool, right? They're like, no, we're an object-oriented tool, when it's like, okay, but you write a bunch of procedural code, and then, yeah, mostly a functional programmer, but F# is a second-class citizen in Unity. Yeah, I wanted to look into F#, but I don't know how well it would work with Unity. Like, I think in theory everything should work correctly, but I just don't know enough about it. And what I'm afraid of is you know, finding something in F# that should normally work but doesn't work because it's Unity. But I don't know, I might have to just try some, like, you make assemblies and then call them from C# in Unity. So there's no way that F# can import the Unity engine and just run it that way. Like, isn't it, like, I mean, this is an assembly for C#, right? Couldn't you just make an assembly F# or something? Or couldn't you, I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I mean, I guess, I mean, no, well, I guess, right, because you'd have to have your classes defined in C#, right? You couldn't, like, its own runtime, I'm not entirely clear on it, yeah. Yeah, so actually, I guess if you wanted to use any editor stuff, you'd probably have to define your components in C#. Oh, I wonder how that works with the importing. I wonder how, because you could define your components in C#, and then I'm trying to figure out how you could, you know, how you could get most of the code into F#. I imagine, it seems like there'd be a lot of duplicate work. Well, actually, no, because you can, okay, wait a second. So if we go into mono behavior, this is a C# class, right? But this just has, I think you'd have to compile manage DLLs of any of the F#, of the F# small games? Oh! They aren't Unity, but use monogame. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, Suckathon. Program.fs. Ooh. I like that. Oh, that's interesting. That, yeah, if descriptor is some. That one is text-based. Yeah. Just wanted to look at some of the example stuff. Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I like. There's very little imperative stuff here. It's just mostly functional. Oh my god, see, you just declare something an entry point. Oh, it's so good. You can't do the reverse and import the Unity DLLs because they have too many internal calls. Okay. Oh, you can't import the Unity DLLs. That's unfortunate. So, because it seems like, so I assume, okay, so the thing that I understand about mono behavior, right, is that this is not, like, this is a binding, right? Like, this just, this is implemented somewhere else, is that right? Or is this actually implemented in C#? My thought was, I'm wondering if you can do a similar thing with, like, F#, where you declare the class in C#, but you actually have it adding behavior to an object in a scene graph. Yeah, I'm just, basically what I'm trying to think of is, I know that I would need, basically to get the Unity inspector to work with C#, or to get the Unity inspector to work, you'd have to define stuff in C#. It might be compiled to IL. Yeah. But you'd have to, so the idea is that you could, declare, but is there any way to declare your classes in C# and then say, hey, actually, this is just the C# definition, and then I want to define it, like I want to, I want to define the implementation of this method in an F# DLL or something. Like in a compiled DLL that is an F# thing. Is there any way to do something like that? Because that would be interesting. But yeah. See, this is the kind of thing. I assume this entry point just tells F# that this is where you'd add a reference to the F# DLL. But you'd have to build it elsewhere. Okay. It's interesting. I might have to try that one day if I can. I might have to do some research into how you can, like, get F# and Unity to play together nicely. Because what I'd prefer is to, like, define the classes. Well, I'd prefer to do everything in F#, but I think the best middle ground is probably if you could find some way to define your components in C# and then implement them in F#. F# doesn't play nicely with anything. It doesn't play nicely even with the other .NET languages. Like, I thought that was the whole advantage of F#. Oh wait, is this whole thing implemented in a single file? Oh god, wow, that's crazy. You implemented all of Sokoban in just 100 and something lines? I assume it only plays one level, right? That's how opinionated languages work. That's fair. You always wind up with an imperative functional library. Yep, 100 lines, level at the top. Oh wow, that's crazy. Well then. Okay. That's very interesting. Alright. So you've done in these, you have... Knight's Tour? Why does that sound familiar? Why does Knight's Tour sound familiar? Is that a common thing? It's not good, F#. It was one of my earlier attempts. Ah, okay. Yeah, I can't actually tell the difference. Like, I vaguely get F#, but I haven't used it in a long time. Like, I don't know very many of the intricacies. But I assume stuff like, match with, match X with whatever is probably move the knight around the board and don't touch the same screen. Yeah, okay, Knight's Tour. Yeah, okay, I've seen that. Yeah, I assume this is like akin to a switch statement or something. You know, you match board with whatever its state might be. You're starting, then you do this, then you do that. And in play when that. You match origin with some or none. Oh, you have none. Oh yeah, the other thing about Java, they don't have a default keyword. They really need that. Like the concept of a default type for any type is just I don't know why they don't have that, and it's so annoying. That's the other thing that I don't like about it. Because it really starts to ruin like the functional. It does have an optional type. Yeah, but you can't do the thing with the difference though is that you can say, you know, you can say anything in C#, you know, public int whatever. And then you can return default, just default. You don't have to even specify anything else. You just say, hey, whatever the default is for, you know, int. Whereas in Java, you'd have to specify, you know, you'd have to specify, it'd even be worse in Java. Yeah, that default, yeah, that. Like, this just makes all of the syntax so much better, especially for generics, because you can even do it with a generic method. In Java, you would have a lot of trouble. Syntactic sugar default, yeah. But in Java, if you had a generic, you'd have a lot of issues, because you'd have to declare a new optional. And then the worst part in Java is if you have an optional, like in C#, the cool thing is that you can just do this for optionals, basically. You know, you basically have an optional. And the cooler thing, too, is that with the default, like, the semantics don't change, right? Like, I always want to return the default for whatever that's going to be. Problem is that in Java, those would be two different things. And then also in Java, if you want to return the default for an int, you actually have to return either null or no. For an int, you'd have to return 0, but then if you have, you know, uppercase int, you get to return null, which is the default, and it's just, it's so bad. It's just so bad. But just things that have none as type, that's much better. The int, is it really just syntactic sugar as well? It's really just, yeah, it's for nullable. Really helpful for generics that can take value or reference types. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Problem though is that Java keeps trying to pretend that there's no such thing as a value versus reference type. You know, they won't make a clear distinction between the two. They're like, yeah, you know, like, oh yes, primitives, you know, like primitives are, you know, are value types, except strings. No, strings are not, you know, primitives, of course, but you know, in Java, of course, they are. But yeah, I don't know. Have this hybrid sort of thing with strings. I don't know. It annoys me. It's very hard to make record types in Java. Yeah. Well, they're finally adding. So they're actually finally adding records. Finally, after like for eternity. Where is it? It's finally a thing. And really it is just, it's not any of this. I haven't seen it. This isn't it. There's an actual record keyword. Yeah, they have an actual record keyword now. This is sort of a new feature, and they're finally doing it. It's been forever. And then Java doesn't have auto properties either. Like, I know that's just syntactic sugar, but still, it's annoying. I don't know. I visited one, 2, 3, okay. I don't know, so many things annoy me about Java. Just because I've used it so much. Like, I want it to be a better language than it is. So let reset game, start game, game state, okay. Oh, this is very interesting. Might have to look into this at some point. That might be something I do for a game jam, is I try to write as much as I can in F# for Unity. Oh wow, this uses XNA. Oh wow. Oh, I assume is that monogame? XNA? Or is that something different? 15 puzzle. Mono game, okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that mono game was XNA. Interesting. Because I had heard XNA for like Xbox stuff, but I had never heard it as mono game. Huh. Okay. Alright. Monogame implemented the XNA namespace. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's why. Okay, so that's yeah, to make transitioning easier for people. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, so that's why Monogame was so popular, is because people could just sort of jump in from XNA, and I assume. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. So it has reached about 5 o'clock. I've been going for about 2 hours. I think I'm going to call it here because I'm a bit tired still, and I think I've been on a Java rant for maybe half an hour now, and people are probably tired of listening to it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you